Hello. Welcome to the introduction to Inkscape. So, Inkscape itself is a free Illustrator alternative, pretty much. It's completely open source and it is safe for you to use on your computer. Let's say you don't have Illustrator installed and you wish to see what alternatives there are. So, this is Inkscape right here. Now this is a first open, and you go to, it's the first time you open it up, it is quick setup. You just go to time to draw and you click on new document. Okay, so this is our new document over here. So it's fairly similar to, let's say very similar to Corel Draw in terms of its layout. Okay, so we go to File first of all, and we make sure that the document properties are correct. So we go to Document Properties, and we make sure that it's all set in metric. Okay, A4 in size. We can do A3. Let's go to A3. Landscape format. Units are in millimeters. Yes, everything looks like it's all okay. Don't worry about the scale or anything like that. All right. So how do I get out of this? I guess I click out of it now. I do click out of it. All right. Remember, this is my first time loading it up, so I know as much as you do. So I'm just seeing if I can press the Illustrator shortcut keys, and yes, I can. I can use the space bar. If I press a space bar and then click and then drag with the mouse, you can move around the space. If I press Command plus or Control plus, does it work? Do I increase in size? No, I don't. Okay, I can't zoom in. So let's try a few things here. First of all, I'm going to see if there's a layers palette. View. Where's my layers palette through here? Layers. And this is a layer palette here. So I need to keep the layers palette on. Okay, we're moving along now, which is good. Let's bring in an image that I'm going to trace, for example. So I'm going to import an image, file import. I'm going to go over to my desktop, and here OS 10 is asking for the permissions. So I'm going to click on OK. All right, so here I've got my example scan, and I'm going to load this one up here. And what's it saying here? Embedded link. Try embedded all the time. From file, yes. And I'm going to click on. Okay, let's click on don't ask again. All right, so this here is my image. I'm just going to move it around. So this here is the selection tool, and it allows me to select items. So I'm selecting the picture that I scanned in earlier. I'm going to use the space key now to move around the space. So it all looks good over here. So this layer here, I'm going to change the name of it to image. And I'm going to create a new layer here, which is going to be called trace, for example. Click on add. Okay, so I'm going to lock this layer now, so I can't modify that image anymore, where that image goes, and I can now zoom in. So hopefully there's a zoom tool around here somewhere. What's that one do? So group objects. No, if I press Z to go into the zoom tool, yes, it does work, which is good. Okay, so, and I'm going to use the spacebar to move around. So some things are very similar to Illustrator. Some of the shortcut keys are similar. The Command plus or the Control plus and Control minus obviously doesn't work in this version. So here I've got the main toolbar. This is where I go and produce my shapes. And I'm going to go first of all to my circle tool over here. And what's the color of the circle tool? How do I find out what this current color is here? Alright, let's try this out later on, because the beauty of using vector graphics is that I can adjust the colors later on. Draw a circle. Oh, it's not in proportion. So if I press shift, it's not working. Oh, yes, it does. How do I lock it in proportion? Press shift. Well, shift is letting me open the circle up from the center point. Otherwise, I need to see if I can manually change the dimensions of this. So change this to 12.560 up in here. Yes, it does become a proper circle now. So there's a few little odd bits and pieces here for this program. Where can I change the colors? So fill is now, well, is that transparent there? Pattern, mesh gradient, radial gradient, linear gradient. How do I choose? Nothing. Fill color. I guess my fill color, I just have it as the alpha channel. So we have here RGB, so red, green, and blue channels, and we have an alpha channel. So an alpha channel is your transparency of something, and I'm going to now change the stroke color. So stroke, flat color, and I'm going to make it as being black. So can you see my K? I prefer CMYK more than anything else. So that is that there. Okay. Other things you might want to use is the pen tool. Edit paths by nodes. No, I'm going to draw with the freehand freeline tools. Bezier Curves. Okay, so here I can click and drag, and then click and drag, and I get a thing called a Bezier curve. So this is where I can make different curves here, okay? And then I finish it off at that node there, okay? So every time you draw some type of freehand item or line, you need to close it, okay? So for example, if I do this, I don't expect this to be filled properly yet until I finish it off, okay? And that's when I can start filling it, okay? So that's a few sort of basic things of using this program. Let's say you want to create some type of type thing here. So, well, this program's a bit funny. So I'm going to click on New, and let's try some typography this time. So I'm going to click on the pen tool, and let's see if I can click and then drag the type box. Yes, I can. So I can type in any sort of text here. Okay. And ideally I would use Lorem Ipsum. So this here is the font size. I can bring it down to 9 point. Okay, and I can select this type here, press Command A to select all that type. Command C, Command V, and I'm going to do it a few times, Command V a few times to paste it through. And I can start sort of creating even some type of magazine layout. Okay, let's right click on this and see if there's an option for let's see if there's an option for text and font. Let's see if there's an option for columns. No, it doesn't seem though as though there is. Right click, edit fill stroke, object properties. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so obviously Inkscape is quite a basic program. If you're going to create columns, you will need to make another text box. Okay, so you will need to, for example, Command C and then Command V. So I have, like I've done that because I've created a text box that's the same size, and I need to sort of align it somehow in there. So it's not as good as Illustrator, okay? Alright, so let's delete that one. Let's see if I can use an Illustrator shortcut key. I'm using the select tool, and I'm going to start moving across, and I'm going to press Shift to lock it in aspect ratio horizontally. So it's only horizontal movement, and press Option. Let's take my finger off the mouse. No, it doesn't copy, so you need to do copy paste, unfortunately. Alright, so there's a few little starting points there of Inkscape. You can see a few other tutorials there for more advanced stuff. The that'll be all for this one. If you have any other questions, I'm more than happy to explore it for Inkscape. Okay, thank you. Bye.